screen visible? Is my screen visible? Yes or no? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, if you recall the last lecture we started with the JSF UI controls. Yes or no? Can anyone recall the last session? What all were the things that we did? Anyone? Basic structure we discussed last to last time. Can you recall the few classes which we discussed last lecture? Kindly reply quickly by unmuting yourself, or you can just type in the chat window. So we last lecture we discussed something like this. We say the stage is a window where we create a scene and we have a parent control in which we will add the child node, right? And we said parent control could be either any control or it could be any pan. And then we discuss about various pans, UIs, and shapes. From that, we started our discussion with the stack pan, right? And we added a circle in it. So we, along with that, we also learn how to have the property binding, right? We said if we change the size of pan, then obviously the size of the circle will also change. So that is called property binding. Where the source object is changed, then target object will also change automatically. So if we put a circle in a pan, and if we make the pan size half, then obviously the circle's x and y property will be changed automatically, right? So that's called property binding. And then we talk about the common properties such as style and rotate, right, which is there with each and every node. Then we had our discussion regarding the color class. We said there are various methods such as the constructor color, brighter method, dark method, color method with the small c. So this is constructor overloading and method overloading. We do have RGB, that is red, green, and blue, and you can specify the color in the integer, and you can just make the colors available. Along with that, we do have the getter methods with the color class. We said we have font class, which is having the two constants, which is font posture and uh, font posture dot italic and font posture dot regular. We can also get the font family with the help of method font family. We do have font name and size, and then we have seen an example yesterday, right? Right? And we talk about image and image view. We said image is an object which is used to which represents a graphical image, and image view will display the graphical image, and that's why we say that image view can be created from an image object, right? So this was the last lecture's discussion. Now we are starting with the layout pans. So as we have seen in the lab also, that whenever we run any program, if you recall, we had a circle color change program, right? In circle color change program, we use the stack pen, right? And I told you that like a stack is like stacking one on another, right? One on another. So this is going to give you the stacking of objects onto one and on the top of other, fine. And it totally depends on your nodes, right? Where you want to put your text, where you want to put a button, how you want the entire thing to be placed on the output window. So based on that, there are various layout pans available. From there, this is the list. We do have a class pen, stack pen, flow pen, read pen, border pen, H box, which is standing for horizontal box, V box, which is standing for vertical box, right? So from this, we have seen pen, stack pen, grid pen, border pen, and H box. If you recall, we have seen these many pens last time, right? Do you recall that? Do you recall that where we have seen this? Can anyone recall where we use the stack pen? I said you right. We in the color change program we use the stack pen. S box. S box is a horizontal box. Where we have used S box? Where we have used S box? Can you tell me where we use the S box? Can anyone tell me? Are you people having idea what we're talking about? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Then can you tell me where we have used? Do you recall the practical where we have used radio buttons to change the color? There we have taken H box. We said it like pen for buttons. Do you recall that? Pen for radio buttons. Can you see on my screen? Right? And to that pen we added the buttons. Similar way we have taken H box for left and right button. Right? And we have taken a border pen. Can you see here? Border pen. And in the border pen, we added all other pens, right? So we took a border pen and there we have just taken the pen for text, pen for radio button and pen for buttons. So pen for radio button and pen for buttons were the H box, and for the text box, you can see here, this is our text box with the 50/50 and certain text in it, right? And we have taken in a simple pen the text box and then we added it, right, to the pen's center, right? So over here this pen is the one which is holding all other pens. So this is border pen. As it is a border pen, it is having top, bottom and center in a lining way. We can use the H box when we want to go with the horizontal placing. So you can see this when I am having this program, we have horizontal placing for your text box, your buttons, this two left and right, and for this radio. So this is the H box. If I would have used V box, then instead of horizontal, this radio button would have come the vertical. Is it visible, guys, on my screen? I guess my mobile screen is lagging. Are you able to see? Right? Okay. How is it now? Is it visible, audible clearly now? Is it audible clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So as we said that these layouts are the placement of your nodes on your screen, and for that we are always using the pans. So we do have various layout pans. From that, pan, stack pan, flow pan, grid pan, border pan, H box and V box are the example, right? So these are the classes, all the classes, layout classes which we listed just now. Each of them is a class available in your Java FX, and each of them is having certain functionality which makes it different from other, right? So we have a class pan, and pen is the root class, or you can say the base class of all the layout pens. So other than the pan are the children of pen class, right? So pen is the parent class, base class, and we have stack pen, flow pen, grid pen, border pen, H box and V box. So these are the children of the base class pen. We have a stack pan. As we said, it places the node on the top of each other, right, in the center of the pan. So it is like center part if you want to get something, and that's what we did with the circle color change program, if you recall, right? There we use the stack pan. Do you recall that? So here is our stack pen. We took a circle, right? We took a circle, and C is the object representing our circle, and we taken a stack pen, and we added that object in the stack pen, and then finally that pen we added to scene, and in the primary stage we set up that scene object. Fine, fine. So that's about the stack pen. When I run this, it will give me the node in the center, right? And if I'm taking more, it will put it on the top of each other. Fine. On the top of one, we will have another node. So that's what the stack pen means, right? So you can see it's exactly in the center. Okay. Now, next is flow pan. Flow pan places the nodes row by row horizontally and row by row, column by column vertically, right? It is used when we are going to have such nodes placing horizontally and uh, vertically, right? Here is we are having the grid pan. Grid pan places the node cell into the two-dimensional grid. And if you recall, I said for tic-tac-toe game, we can go with the grid pan, right? When we talk about the border pan, we said it places the nodes into the top, bottom, right, left, and center region. So it divides the entire window into the different parts such as top, bottom, right, left, and the center. And if you recall the radio button example, we have taken a border pan, and there we have put the there we have put the, just a second, where is our border pan? Here it is. Yeah. So I said it divides the entire screen into the top, bottom, left and right and center, and we use center, top and bottom for the example of that radio button and the left, right button and text change, right? So we put the text in the center, we put radio button on the top, and we put the left and right button on the bottom end, right? So that's what we have taken border pen. Fine, fine, okay. So what border pen does, as I said, it places into the top, bottom, and center. We use here top, bottom, and center is the text. It even you can go with the left, right, and the center. So two more we can add if you want to create an entire, window with the various things. So you see, most of time we have such things only. Can you see the NAT bins? We are having top menu, bottom we have the output window and the HTTP servlet monitor, right? So it will just keep on giving us a button. These are the buttons: request, cookies, context, client and server, headers. All these are the buttons. Fine. So we can go with such thing. And when we have, see, this is the left pan, this is the center region, this is bottom, and even over here we can have certain things, right? Right. So this is what we can do with the pan. We have hatch box. We say that it places in a single row, right? So when we take hatch box, hatch means horizontal. Horizontal means row wise. So this we have taken for the radio button and the left and right button in the text example. We have V box, which places the node in a single column. So if you want to go with something like this, you can go with that V box. If you look here, this program icons, these are the images. Fine. These are the image and file name which we are taking here. So this folder is our package and everything is just a small image. So this is vpan. We have placed the control in the vpan. Now you see this is one project. If I open some other project, fine, let me open any random project, right? In that case it will be bottom there. So this is column wise we are just going, right? So this is known as your vbox, right? Your vbox pan does something like that. Is it clear? Is it clear? Any doubt, any question? Anyone? If you have query, raise your question. Anybody having any question? Yes or no? Please acknowledge in the chat box. Only group is answered. What about others? Is that only one student is awake here? Guys, give me acknowledgement. Rupali and Dhruv, only two are studying. Where are others? Everybody is sleeping or what? This is post lunch lecture. So is it the case that everyone is sleeping? Yes or no? Guys, I want acknowledgement from all the students. Am I audible? Am I audible? Okay, fine. So let us go ahead and talk more about the shapes. So if you just recall, in our practicals we have gone with the circle object. Yes or no? We have gone with the circle object. The way we have circle, there are many shape classes available for the drawing and text and lines and circle and rectangle, ellipse, arcs, polygons, polyline. If you want to go with all such shapes, there are classes available, right? There are classes available, right? So the shape is an abstract class that depends a common property of all the shapes. What is abstract class? We say the shape is an abstract base class. What is abstract class?
method without body, right? So and it's a base class, so it means that from that exactly Om Joshi, when I say abstract class, it means method without body are there in the class. And now we are saying abstract base class, so it means that shape is a parent class which do not have any method implemented in it, but it has certain properties for all the shapes as well abstract methods, right? So there are properties such as feel, stroke width, right? These are the property. Feel is to fill the circles or any object's body with the color. Stroke is the border of that particular object, and stroke width is like how thick border you want for that object. So we will look at the various shapes such as text, line, circle, rectangle, ellipse, arc, polygon, and polyline, and these all are the subclasses of shape. Right? Parent class is shape, and all these are the subclasses. And if you recall in the circle example, okay, just a second. If you recall in a circle example, we said when we want to use the circle, we have to import Java fx dot. Do you recall that how we have taken the circle? We said we have to import Java fx dot scene dot shape dot circle. So this is that example. Can you see that? Import Java fx dot scene dot shape dot circle. What does it mean? Circle is a child of shape. Shape is a child of scene. Scene is a child of Java fx class. Is the screen visible now? Right? Right? Okay, so this is what does it mean when I say shape is the parent class and circle and other objects, shape objects are the child class. So text is also considered inside the uh, shape class, and there is a class which defines a node that provides a string as a starting point x and y, right? So the text object is usually placed in a pan. If you recall our example where we moved a text inside a pan, we have taken uh, text is equal to new text, and we gave 50-50 as a dimension. Do you recall that? Here it is. So we have taken a text as a class, which is there in text scene dot text. Right? We said text is equal to new text 50-50. So 50 is x, and this is the y coordinate. X and y coordinate are given 50-50, and then we give a circle string value over there. Right? So this is about your text class, right? So usually text is displayed in a pan, and top upper arrow is 0 0. As we said, this is 0 0. If I go in this direction, I'm increasing x. If I'm going down, I'm decreasing y. Fine. Sorry, increasing y. This is increase in x, right? And this is increase in y, right? So this point is suppose x and y. So we can create a point x and y, and then we can display a string over there with the help of text class. Fine. And if we want to give a string to be displayed in a multiple lines, right? Suppose there is a long paragraph and you want to go with the new line, then you can separate it by slash n. As we know that slash n is there was there in your C and C++ also we have used for a new line slash n, right? So this is any question, any doubt, anyone? Should I move forward? Should I move forward? Okay. So here are the more property of text. Text is having string property named as text. We can give any value, right? We gave Tarannum Bloch at MEFGI. So that was the constructor we have called. And whenever we call a constructor, we use the class property, right, to give the value, to assign the value. So this is what we did. This is the string text, and this is x and y coordinate, and this is constructor. You see, class text, object name is small t, text is equal to new text. So this is constructor. If this is the parameterized constructor, each parameter is mapped with certain class property, right? So those class property of text class we are discussing now. We said we are having the string text, string property text. We have x, which is a double property. We have y, which is a double property. Along with that, we have underline, which is a Boolean property. You can just set it true or false. By default, it is false, and that's why there is no underline in the class. But if I give text dot underline true, it will just give me the underline. Fine. What I have to do is I have to use the object, right? So object is over here text, which we created. We say dot, underline, right? We'll say underline, and if I give true, it will give me the underline, right? It will give the underline. Okay. I don't know why it is saying it has to give me text dot underline. Right, it is there underline. It's only underline, but it is not working. Maybe we have version issue. This we will see in the lab. Right now, just let us move ahead. It has to give the underline. I have to just see the type compatibility. That's it. Right. So the way we have underline, we have strike through. Can anyone tell me what is strike through? Have you seen the strike through ever? Have you seen the strike through ever? Anywhere on the text? What is strike through? Anyone? What is strike through? Line forward, right? Usually it is there in the discount price. Or usually we see it whenever we go for product purchase, and if that product is having a certain sell or something, right? So what we can do is when we go there some product. Can you see this? Over here we have it. Let me choose something randomly. Can you see this? If I go here, I have this. 499 is the original price, right? But it is giving me strike over there, and it is saying me that this is 394, 21% discount. Can you see here? Right? So this is strike through. So line over the word is a strike through, and when you do underline, that is line under the beneath the word, right? So we call it as underline. Okay. So we have strike through property. It is again taking the Boolean value because it's a Boolean property. By default, it is false, and that's why whenever we take any text, it does not come with the strike through and underline. Underline and strike through both are by default false, right? Along with that, we have font property, which is an object font, where you can define what type of font you want to use, whether you want to use Arial or Cambria or Cambry, whatever is the type you like, you can go with that, right? So you can set all the font properties of the text being applied, right? So inside the class text, we have a property font, which is representing the font object, and the object property of font is also available over the text. We can apply it over there. So here are some constructor and methods. We have a default constructor which takes only string. When you take this, it will take this create a string specification. By default, it will take to the coordinate 0 0. But if you want to go to the specific coordinate, you can just specify x, y, and the text. This is what we did in our text example. We specified 50 50 and we gave the text, right? So that's here. This is 50 50 and we said text, right? Along with that, we do have the various getter and setter methods, such as we can go with get text and set text. We can say get x, get y, right? So these are the getter and setter method. We can say set text, set x, set y. So these are the getter and setter method available for the property of text class. And we said text class is having basically three properties: text, x coordinate, and y coordinate, right? So this is all about your class text. Now we're talking about line class. Line class. Can anyone define or guess what could be there in the line class? Now you see what we have is now you consider this is your scene. This is your scene, and if you draw a line, let us suppose you are drawing a line. Can you say tell me the coordinates? If consider this as a graph, what are the coordinates for a line? How many points we want? How many points required to draw a line? X and Y is a single point. You are drawing a line. Dhruv, you are drawing a line. So you need two X and Y's. Starting X and Y and ending X and Y. So you can see this, if this is my start point, right? If this is the start point, right, and this is at the end, we have the end point, then we have to specify the start X, start Y, end X, and end Y. Agree or not? You're getting the point, right? When you draw a line, you draw it from a one point, right? So we need a start X and Y because one point is having both the coordinates X and Y. Similar way, end point will have end X and end Y. So we will take those properties and then we can draw a line. Fine, fine. So if you want, I can just show you. So we're taking a Java class shape demo. Okay. Right. Suppose this is circle. Now I don't want a circle. I want over here extends. I have to write extends application. Fine, because that's the child class. Okay. Now instead of circle, what I want is line. Okay. So I'll say line instead of circle. I have to just import the shape dot line. Okay. And I'll say line L is equal to new line, and I'll give starting x and y. Let's say 50 start x, 50 is start y. I'm giving 120 start x and end x, and 120 and y. Fine. And I have to add that into the L. Fine. Okay. We just added into the pen. Okay. So if I run this, can you see a line? Everyone, can you see a line? Fine. If I want to go with the straight line, how will I go? Straight line. What should be the coordinate? What should be the coordinates? If I want horizontal line, can you tell me horizontal line coordinates? So I have somebody saying make the y similar, right? Let us see this. Making the y similar, right? So this will give me a horizontal line. And if I want to give a vertical line, then if I want to go with the vertical line, then we'll make the x similar. Hmm? What will be the coordinates? Anyone? Yeah, something like, right? X should be same. That's what we said. Can you see this vertical line? Okay, so this is about the shape class. Are you getting, guys? Everybody, are you getting this discussion? Okay. Okay, fine. So let us go ahead in the theory. So what we said is we have a line parameter and we can have a parameterized constructor. So this is what we use right now. This is what we have used, right? And we have getter and setter method. You can set x and y, right? Suppose you want to go like this. You don't want to give the x and y value directly. You want to give it something like taking from user. So we can take integer x, we can take start x, we can take a start y variable, we can take a um, end x, we can take end y. Fine. And then we can take it from the keyboard, and we can use the line after creating the line object. We can say L is equal to, right? Sorry, L dot, you can say set set various, set end x or set start x, right? You can give any value. You can see here, and x or y, whatever you are having, you can give it. Fine, fine. Suppose I have given over here 250, or I have used the scanner class, and then from the user I have taken 250. I can do this. So instead of here values, now I will write and y. Fine, fine. Or I can go with the empty constructor, and then I can create an like a null line, and then I can set x and y. Is it clear? Right? Once I have given the value, and if I want to read the value, I can go with get method. So get method will give me some double value for the end y, right? So I can read it. Sorry, x. Are you getting the point, everybody? What is getter method and what is setter method? Is it clear? Right? I can use system dot scanner class. I can use system dot out dot println, and I can print this ex value, whatever is there in the coordinates. Fine. Is it clear? Okay, so what I said is we have line with the getter and setter method. Properties are start x, start y, end x, and y, and we have default constructor which creates an empty line. We can go with the line and 4 coordinates. We have just seen how to have the horizontal, vertical, and a slant line, right? And we said we are having getter and setter method, so we can get start x, start y, end x, and y, and we can set all these 4 properties. Next is rectangle, right? Next is the rectangle. You can just specify the properties such as the parameters x, y, width, height, arc width, and arc height, right? So top left corner of the rectangle is xy, right? And when you say parameter arc width, AW is the horizontal dimension of the arc of the corner, and when you say parameter arc height, then we are talking about the vertical diameter of the rectangle. Fine. So you can just go with the 4 arguments, and you can create a rectangle also. These are the property x, y, x coordinate of the top upper left corner, y coordinate of top left corner. We have width, right? Width of the rectangle, and we have height of the rectangle. We have arc width, and we have arc height also. So we can draw a rectangle either by going with the empty and then using the setter method. We can set the values for x, y, width, and height, right? It will create a corner. So we can create a rectangle with the 4 arguments. Now let us take here instead of line, we will go with dot rectangle. Fine. So if I'm taking rectangle over here, I have to say rectangle. I'm giving the object name r equal to new rectangle. Fine. And I can draw rectangle by adding it into the pan. Let me give the coordinates. I'm giving 50, 50, 300, and 300. Can you see this rectangle, everybody? Fine. Fine. This is rectangle class. Okay. We have circle. I guess no need to discuss the circle because we have already discussed. Circle will have center x, center y, radius. Right? By default is radius 0, but you can create it with the help of a parameterized constructor. And we have various getter and setter method. So we can get x and get y, and this we did it. Do you recall the circle movement program? In the circle movement program, we have done it. Like we created a circle. Can you see this? Which was at 18. We created a circle with 30 30, so x y are 30, and even the circle radius is 30, and we have used the getter properties. You see, get radius, get center y, get center x, right? And then we use the new setting also. So we said set center y, set center x, right, set radius. So all these are the setter method, right? So there are getter method and setter method for the circle. We demonstrated in practical 18, so I'm not discussing, you can just go with that. We have ellipse. We can draw an ellipse. How will draw the ellipse? Can anyone tell me the property? Any guesses? What are the property? What are the property of an ellipse? What are the properties of an ellipse? Anyone? What are the property of an ellipse? Are you awake, guys? What are the properties of an ellipse? Nobody is replying. Are we awake? So when I say ellipse, it will have center point x and y. It will have y radius and x radius. Fine, because we are talking about an ellipse which is all kind of shape, and as it is all kind of shape, it will have different radius. It will have one radius which is if you want to draw like this, you have to make the y radius small and x radius bigger. And if you want to go with the upper portion, like an egg type of standing egg type kind of shape, then you need to make y bigger and x smaller, right? So what we have is, we have over here 50-50, and we can go with the x bigger and y smaller. We are adding that ellipse to the pan, right? And let us run this. Can you see this? Fine. Let me increase 120 and 100, or 120 and we can go with 90. Can you see this? Yes or no? Right? And if I want to change it, I can go with the common property also. We have rotate, right? Do you recall that we said we have a rotate property as well? I said if we want to make it like a standing egg, you have to just change the coordinates, make the y radius bigger and the x radius smaller, right? And then you can bigger, and it will give you some color. By default the color is black. If you want to change the color, you can say e dot set fill, right? And you say color dot, let us say red, We are saying color dot red. Okay. For that I need to include the color class. So we'll import javafx.scene.paint.color, and we added the set fill for the ellipse. Can you see the red color? Fine. Did I write the wrong spelling or what? What is the, yeah, that's blue only. Oh, I have to give in capital the color name blue. Okay. Make sure you are giving the color name in capital. Fine. It's blue, though it's look indigo in the screen of mobile, but on a laptop it's looking blue. It's looking like violet or indigo in your mobile screen, even my mobile screen. Fine. So this is the way we can play with the arc and the circle and all other points, right? So this is ellipse, right? We have ellipse constructor. We can create an ellipse with the x and y. We can create an ellipse with x, y, radius x and radius y. And we have all the getter and setter methods for the ellipse. Fine. We do have arc also. Fine. What is arc? What is arc? Suppose you want to draw an half ellipse, like a pizza triangle you want, right? So it's arc, right? So in that case, we will keep on adding the arguments. So we will have center x, center y, radius x, radius y, as well. We will have starting and ending angle for arc. Okay, right? So these angles are usually measured in the degrees. So we know that we have the degrees starting from 0 to 180. You can give any valid degree from where you want to start the angle, start angle and end angle. So this is about arc. I will take arc, right? I will say arc A equal to new arc, right? And now I have to give starting angle and ending angle also. Okay. A is capital, I'm so sorry. Arc. Can you see a small arc over here? Right? We can change the properties and we can have the big arc. Uh, you can play with all the numbers. If you are good with the geometry, you will achieve the good arc. Clear? Clear? Everybody? Doubt? So you just play with these numbers and you will get good shapes, right? You can draw, right? We have very few minutes. Let me complete the shapes. So these are the properties of arc: center x, center y, center radius x, radius y, starting start angle, length, right? We have type. You can just specify the type of arc, like whether you want to go with the open or chord, or you want to go with the round. You can specify this object property, right? So this is the way we can go with the creation of arc. Either we can go with the empty arc by calling the default constructor, or we can specify the x y, radius x, radius y, start angle, length, and then we can create an arc. We created with this constructor, right? And we have getter and setter method for all these properties. Along with that, we have polygon and polyline classes also. So polygon defines the polygon. You can see this is the polygon, right? A closed shape, right? And this is polyline, right? So polygon and polylines are like they are almost same, except the difference that polyline is not automatically closed. It is open, whereas polygon is closed. That's the only difference we have, right? So we have polygon. We can go with the polygon points. You can give as many points as you want in a comma separation. We have the getter method and setter method. We can go with the uh, get points method. It will give list of all the x and y coordinates of your points, right? So that's it about the shape class. Guys, this is last shape that we have in our syllabus. Fine. Now, in the next lecture, we'll be discussing about event-driven programming. Though we have done it in a lab, like mouse press and button click, mouse released, and radio button click, all those events we have seen already. But still, next time we'll see the theory of those and we'll see few examples. In the shape, anyone having any doubt or question? We started with the layout. We said there are almost 7 layouts supported by your Java FX. That is deciding how to place the nodes in the over the window. And we have pan, stack pan, flow pan, grid pan, border pan, edge box, and VBox. We said pan is the parent class of other pans, right? And then we said we have shapes, and shape is having the common property like fill, stroke, and stroke width. And along with that, other shapes are having their own properties. So we have text, line, circle, rectangle, ellipse, arc, polygon, and polyline classes in the shapes subclass. Fine. And we discuss all those. Any doubt, any question, anybody? Should we close now? Anyone having any doubt or question? Krupali Singh, no. What about others? Any doubt or any question? Okay, fine. So let me close the session here. In the next lecture, we'll discuss about event-driven programming.